got the itchy boy. You got the itchies, boy? Hmm? You got it folded up here. Hi, good morning. Good morning to you.
Hi, boys.
They were both sleeping on here. Just laying on their cots. Waiting for mom and dad to come outside.
Yeah. They're like, hello.
Kinsley's got the itchies. Everybody's got the itchies.
Yeah, okay. Kinsley's excited.
Yep. Hi there, buddy.
Hi.
Hey. Well,
Good morning.
Good morning. It was, oh, it's really bright over here. Wow. It was a pretty good weekend.
Yeah.
Saturday was kind of, it was really rainy.
Yeah, Saturday was very rainy. We didn't do much on Saturday.
Did inside stuff.
Or Friday was really rainy.
Yeah, oh.
Friday rained all day.
Oh, it was Friday?
And then Saturday, it ended up holding out until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's right, yeah. So what we found out with the rain is that now that this landscape fabric is down.
We can actually see where the water goes.
Right. So what ends up happening is water actually comes down from all of the hill there, actually comes down this driveway under this rock, and then it'll either hit under this rock or it'll come off of the RV and come down. And then it starts traveling down this way, and then it kind of goes down the hill there towards the front of the deck. So what I need to do is divert that water. Instead of heading all the way down there, I actually am going to do kind of a mild depth ditch here, and I'm going to kind of go upwards this way to catch that water that hits that, and then divert it back down to the French drain that's under here, and then it'll carry it around and behind the house. So I have a little bit more digging to do, which is really unfortunate because I really thought I was done with all of the digging and the landscape fabric. Obviously you guys have seen raised beds. I'll have Katie talk about that in a second. I want to show you that I really did make sure that these seams are
in true Nate fashion, he used extra nails.
They are in place. So at first, can you grab Levi? At first we were just using these staples, these heavy duty staples, to put it into place. You know, do it at intervals. Hi, boys. Well, I was finding that over there by the entrance to the house is really, really rocky. So I started using nails. I was like, well, this is actually working out really well. So
Levi, come on, boys.
You guys are making it really hard to film. So I put in nails like every couple inches, and I made it so these transition pieces are securely in place and they're not going to come out anymore. And then I also used a propane torch to sear the edges to make sure that they don't start fraying. So this stuff is in there really, really, really good. And what we'll end up doing is along where the French drain is, as we put rock down and it starts pushing this fabric down, then we'll start burning little holes so water can actually go down into the French drain, because this stuff it just pools on top of this. Eventually it seeps through, but it pools enough to where water just runs instead of going down. So, still some more work to do, but we started.
Yes.
So Katie can talk about this exciting thing.
Yeah, so always liked the look of the metal beds, and so I got some of these. I think they're Vajaga metal beds. Loved the color of them, the sage green, but we're working on getting them installed, and I knew that the project, after we saw the way the water was running, that the rocks were going to take forever to get spread, and because we had a little bit more to do. So I knew I could at least put these here because these were out of the way. And so I started laying down the rocks yesterday and then built these 2 beds. We have 5 in total. I have one around that little crepe myrtle. I'm going to continue to trim out the crepe myrtle because really you should only have 5 to 7 branches in a crepe myrtle. And so it's recommended to continue to trim them back to your desired fullness. But I wanted to trim those back to only about 5 major stems, and that'll look nicer because right now it's really cramped, but that's okay because these are really easy to uninstall again. It's just 4 screws per panel. So working on those, we'll get all of the herbs and the lettuces that I planted quite a while ago. They're very root bound, and unfortunately I've just left them in those small containers too long, so I kind of think I stunted their growth.
But they should shoot right up then after.
I hope so. I'm hoping that as soon as we put them in some of this soil, because these are the lettuces, the marigolds, and the herbs, and you can see the herbs are really stunted. But this is mostly kale. A couple of them are still
So are
thriving.
these things going in the raised beds?
Yeah, some of these will be going in the raised beds.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
And then we still have to figure out where all the tomatoes are going. I don't think I have, so there's those 2 and that one, and then I said there was 5. There's another large one that's gonna go in the corner here. It's a heart-shaped one. And then there's another large one that's gonna be going in front of this window. So they'll kind of wrap around the house in these 2 areas where we get quite a bit of sun. So I still have to build those and get some rock over here, but we'll work on doing that hopefully this week. And then get all of this planted because, like I said, we just really need to get our stuff in the ground.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I feel so far behind with planting. It's pretty bad, but we did get some more stuff planted today. We'll walk up there, show you. Yesterday, not today. Yesterday was a perfect day for being outside and doing work. It was like 68 degrees, no humidity, cloud cover. It was awesome. The rest of this week is gonna be like high 80s, high humidity.
Yeah, it's gonna be very hot the rest of the week.
So this is what we got. So this is all potatoes. These are leftover seed starch from last year, and they had lots of tubular growth on them. So I ended up cutting them and planting them and spreading out the how much potato we can get. So this is just compost that we had left over from last year. Scooped all this stuff up with shovel and wheelbarrow and piled it high on top of each of the potato seeds. And then I'm gonna go through and cut more grass and use grass as a mulch to keep it moist. And then I put this fence around it because the dogs really like to dig. They love the smell of this compost, and they like to dig through it. So it's not electrified. The dogs don't know that. They'll stay away from it.
Yeah, they stay away from it.
Yeah.
And then we have the rest of this bed to continue planting in. I think the tomatoes, I'm hoping that.
I don't know if you can
I don't think potatoes and tomatoes can go together.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can do corn and potatoes together. Or we can do sweet potatoes.
I think we'll end up filling this with potatoes, knowing us.
Okay.
Because
just potatoes or any sort of potatoes?
All different variations of potatoes.
Yeah, the only thing is that in the corner there, it gets shade early in the day, whereas the rest of this is sun most all day. So I'm not sure about the viability of what can go in there. But so I can continue this with potatoes if you want.
Yeah, because I don't think potatoes and tomatoes can go together. No. So that my original plan was for to put them both here, but I don't think we can. So yeah, we'll have to. We have other things we can plant here as well. We'll just have to look and see what needs a little bit more shade.
Like for the corner?
Yeah, for the corner.
Okay. Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I don't know what all I have.
Right.
So.
I don't know if we talked about this lawn sweeper
We did.
on Friday.
Friday, that was the topic of conversation.
Okay, I think it's awesome. I love it. And yeah, it's kind of, there had to have been more.
No, we really took it easy. We didn't do a whole lot. For once, we relaxed, we chilled.
Yeah, I mean, there's some other stuff I did inside, but it's not really, oh, thanks, Moth. Stuff I need to share. So these girls, they started becoming some semi-free range girls, they like to go outside and explore. It's funny because
They don't go very far.
They don't go very far. They're so big that they get tired really quickly, but they do like to explore. And so they'll be out here for maybe 5 minutes, and then they'll go back inside and they'll rest. They'll go lay down, and then like an hour later they'll come back outside and explore. But one of them, what do you think of that?
One is sweeter than the rest.
Yeah, this I think it's this dark one right here. The one that's about to
Go in.
Yeah, I think it's her. She's very sweet. And then another one of them, one of the lighter ones, loves to come over here and just
Hang out with the boys.
hang out with the boys. Like,
She's like, hey, we don't have one of those. So we want to put, so these are the meat birds that were getting picked on that we've kept quarantined the whole time. There's 6 of them. So that's why they're bigger girls. But they are a dual purpose bird. They're supposed to be good foragers. And Winston's checking it out.
hey Winston, come on, buddy. Come on out.
And so we don't want to continue to always have to mail order meat birds.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought we would keep them back because they are sweet birds, and since they're dual purpose, that we would either add them to our main flock, or we would go ahead and breed them. And so we have the extra Rhode Island Red roosters, and Rhode Island Red is also a dual purpose bird. So we figured that would be a good mix to mix with these girls. Getting used to the doggies.
Mm-hmm. I ordered the gates for the fencing because we have 3 fences, 1 fence per coop. Ordered 3 gates. They're the 8-foot gates, so that way we can get lawnmower and various stuff in there pretty easily. Otherwise it's a 4-foot gate and it'd be really, really tight. Those should arrive sometime this week so we can get this fencing set up so we can get the rest of them to be able to go outside. Mm-hmm. But we also have processing of the other meat birds, the freezer bound meat birds. That's going to be this Friday or Saturday.
Yeah.
And that means I need to get ready for that, getting things set up. Kill cone, testing out the plucker, getting something set up for an ice bath, making sure that the scalder, it's just a turkey, what are those things called?
It's just just the propane burner.
Yeah, making sure that thing's working.
Pot.
Make sure we have enough propane for that.
Come on, Levi.
I probably have to start working on that Thursday and Friday to make sure we're
just need to make sure the freezer gets plugged in.
Oh, the freezer.
That's the biggest thing.
That's right. Get the freezer in there and probably put some meat in there to kind of get it going and get things.
Yeah, I think the mistake we made with the pigs was we put the meat in lukewarm and we didn't cool the meat first. And that was the biggest thing because it was too much of a transition. So when we did our pigs, that was a lot of meat to put into a freezer. And we just didn't, unfortunately, have enough. We didn't have any ice and we didn't have enough waste. So I think what we're going to do is use these buckets, the bins.
5-gallon barrels.
Yeah, and fill one up with ice. Water and ice.
Yeah.
And we'll put the chickens after they've been defeathered and all of that. We'll put them in the ice and then cool them off and let them go through their process before we bag them up. Yeah, part them. We'll probably keep some whole, part some, bag them up, and then they'll go into the freezer. But they should be nice and cold by that point. So
I would like to say, if we stop right here.
Yes.
How nice that looks.
That's nice.
That we actually have something in the ground. Finally. And then having the raised beds in the front of the house. Finally, we're getting there.
Yeah.
You know, it's nearly June.
It's not June yet. It's still May.
I know.
We're good. We're good.
I had a dream last night. So this hose, very long hose, goes up there and I was using it to water. Well, if I leave the hose out like I've done right here, and the dogs get bored, they chew the hose.
It's got so many little fixes.
Like, for example, I had to join it together here. And it's on, so I had to dream that they had chewed the hose when we went to bed.
Oh, and it just
And
flooded.
it was just going all night long. Woke up like, oh no! Went and checked and it was fine. But, so I think today since it's gonna be so hot, I'm probably just I'm gonna do some more mowing
Hey, buddy.
and get more mulch on the potatoes. I'll finish getting soil in these beds here when it's not too hot, sun beating down in this area. And then later tonight, I'm gonna start getting that trench dug.
Okay.
And then need to take Kinsley into the vet and get the sutures removed.
Okay.
So kind of just
Busy
busy
day.
work today. And then when it cools down, work on the hard stuff.
Yep.
So,
Levi's enjoying his bed.
yep, they like their bed. I think they like having their bed right in the front right here.
Yeah, they like hanging out by the RV.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. So that's about it for today.
Yep.
So we'll see you
chill.
guys again tomorrow.
Yep.
And I think that's about it, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
See you tomorrow.
All right.
Bye.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye. What do you think, buddy?
Are you the lazy boy today?
What do you think, buddy? What do you think? You're the good boy. You guys are the good boys. Yes, you are. You're just the good boys. And then there's Kinsley. She's a good girl.
Is she?
Well,
Most
of the
days.
time. Most days.
We love her though. Come here.